Today I'm going to show you how to make a beautiful 3D flower picture, similar to this one. Now 3D, we know, means three-dimensional. And that's talking about how we can see things from all different sides. That means the side. Maybe we could look at it from the bottom. And even down from the top. We can see it from all sides. Sculpture is a 3D art form. And that is what we are going to be working on today. The opposite of 3D, or the other option, is a 2D, and that is something that is flat, like a piece of paper that might look like it has lots of sides, but if we were to touch it, it would just feel flat. So, let me talk about the materials we'll need, and we'll get started. So the first flower we're going to be making today is this one right here, kind of fluffy and spiky. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start with one of my magazine papers that I cut out, and I picked it because it has lots of beautiful colors. But I don't want it to be quite as tall. I'm going to make it a little bit skinnier, and I think I'm going to go like this. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut down the edge like this, and I'm going to make some fringe. I'm going to make a whole bunch of cuts just like this all the way down. Now that I have all my little fringy edges cut, I am going to use a pencil, and I'm going to wrap around the side that I want to see the most. So the most colorful side, to me, that's this one. I'm going to sort of hide it away around my pencil for just a minute. I'll show you why in a second. Now once you get to the end, you want to take a little bit of your glue. You want to put it on the end here and stick it on. Now you want to wrap it around pretty tight, but not too tight that you can't get it off, so give it a check. Oh, looks like it'll come off perfect. And then give the end a little extra squish to make sure the glue is stuck. From here, you have a couple different options. We want to kind of curl those edges down. Some people like to just fold them, but I like them to be curled a little bit more. So I use my fingernails, and I kind of scratch the paper a little bit. And you want to do this pretty gently. You don't want to pull too hard, otherwise you'll end up ripping the paper. I end up ripping at least one of these off every time I do this. The other way that you could do it is by taking a pencil and sort of running it in between your finger. Oh, see, pulled too hard, but that's okay. It doesn't really show up. No one will know what's missing except for me and, well, anyone watching the video. So just kind of run it gently along the paper here. And that is one way to do it. Otherwise, your fingernail works really well as another option. I'm going to do this to all of them. All right, so it's all curly, it's all finished. As you can see, I said I was going to break a few off, and I did, but you can't really tell that they're missing. Everything's all curly and fluffy. I'm going to put this to the side and get ready for my next flower. The next flower we're going to work on is this one right here. I have two of them on my paper. I'm going to show you how to make them today. And they have lots of layers, so there's 3 layers in mine. I'll show you how to make them just like this, but again, you can always make yours with some extra layers if you wanted it to be more full and fluffy. I'm going to grab my paper. All right, I'm going to use some of my painted papers that I made in one of my other, or a few of my other videos. I have 2 that I made with chalk marbled paper, and this scrap is from bubble painted paper. I also did a shaving cream painted paper. I think I might use one of those a little later in this project. Check them out if you haven't already. They make great paper to use for this project. So I am going to be drawing a small, medium, and large circle, one on each paper, and then cutting them out. All right, now that I have my small, medium, and large circles cut out, I'm ready to make the petals. And all I'm going to do is draw a circle in the middle. And then I'm going to cut some straight lines all the way around the edges to make the petals. From here, I'm going to curl these edges just like I did on the last one, using either a pencil or my fingernail. Okay, now all I need to do is glue them inside one another. And this one is done. We now have 2 different flowers done. On to the next one. The next flower I'm going to show you how to make is this one right here. All right, I have my paper, and I'm going to continue working on the back of my paper. That way all my pencil ends no one ends up seeing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a circle first. Then I'm going to start drawing my flower petals around my flower. Okay, now I am ready to curl my petals. And I am going to, you could curl them this way, just by curling them around if you didn't like the way that I've been doing the other two. Or if you wanted just to try something different, or again, you can use your pencil or your fingernail to curl those edges. Okay, flower number 3 done. 1, 2, 3. You could always add more flower petals and layer by making some smaller ones and some larger ones, just like we did with the last one, if you think that you might like that look. So, on to flower number 4. Flower number 4 is this tall one here, made up of all different little kind of flower, almost little individual flowers. So I'm going to show you how to make one of these, and then at the end we'll put it together so it looks like that. This one I decided to use a piece of scrapbook paper, and what you're going to do is draw a bunch of different circles, kind of small, medium, and large, but keep them all on the smaller side, and then cut them out. Now that I have all my circles cut out, I'm going to show you how to put one together, and you're going to need some scissors for that. What you're going to do is you're going to imagine a line straight across. If you wanted to draw a line, you could, and then figure out where that middle spot is. You're going to cut a line just right to the middle and then stop. From there, you're going to take a little bit of glue, and you're going to make kind of like a pizza slice, a little wedge, a little triangle, where one side, hard to see, is along the edge of that line, and the other side kind of goes like this. So I have a little glue triangle there. You're going to tuck that glue triangle underneath the other side and give it a pinch and a squeeze. And you're going to do that to all of your circles that you just cut out. Okay, I glued a whole bunch, but I think I cut out too many for this project. If I want to glue some more together, if I need them at the end, I can. But that is our last flower. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 different flowers. Next thing we're going to do is cut out some stems, some leaves, start arranging and gluing things on. Okay, I have my background paper, and I have some more of my, this is my shaving cream marble paper that I'm going to use to cut out some stems and some leaves. And then I'm going to start gluing everything onto the paper. Start with this flower first because I like to make it a tall one, and it kind of takes up a little bit of space. It's easier to do it first with nothing else in the way. So first I'm going to pick whichever piece of paper I want for the stem. I'm going to glue it on. Decided I'm going to have it going off to the side just a little bit. And then I'm gonna start gluing on these pieces. The little ones I put at the top, bigger ones I put at the bottom. And the only real trick with these is finding a spot on here that maybe feels a little bit more flat, that is going to stick to the paper than another. The last thing I want to do is add in a vase, so it looks like these flowers are sitting in a beautiful flower vase, maybe with some water in it. So I have a piece of paper. I'm going to figure out if that's kind of wide enough and how tall I want it to be. So I'm just going to fold it here so I kind of know where my flower vase can end. And secret trick that I like to use is to figure out what I want it to look like. Only draw half of it on the paper, because all I need to do is kind of fold it in half like this and draw whatever I want it to look like. Cut that out while my paper is folded together. Hopefully this will come out good. I think it will. And then unfold it, and look at that. I have a beautiful flower vase. Okay, I have one last thing to add to this, but we want to make sure that there's no special important people around listening to this. You can invite them back in later, but if, say, mom or dad or grandma or someone special at home is sitting next to you, you may want to ask them to leave the room for a quick minute and then let them know when it's safe to come back. Okay, so here's the deal. This is a beautiful piece of artwork. I know that I would love to get something like this if someone made it for me. And I know that anyone in your family would love to get something like this if it was their birthday, or say Mother's Day, or maybe just to say thank you, or just to do something nice. So up to you if you wanted to make this and give it to someone and write, say, Happy Mother's Day or Happy Birthday or something on the vase, or anywhere where there would be extra space. You can certainly do that. The other thing that you want to make sure that you do is write your name somewhere in here. Sign your name. It's your artwork. Be proud of it. So I'm going to write Mrs. Lurie. The other thing I'm going to add on here is the date. I'm going to put it over here. I'm just going to put the year, because I like to always remember when I made things. And I always like to know who was the person that made it, because I gotta say, my brother and I made a lot of the same projects when we were growing up, and now it's hard to remember whose was whose if we didn't put our name on it, and it's really hard to remember how old we were or when we made something if the date's not on there. So I always recommend put the name and the date on there if you would like, and once you've done that, your artwork is finished. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope this gave you good ideas, and I hope to see that you guys are creating and maybe making some of these beautiful 3D paper flowers. Keep creating, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.